Oh, I'm very excited. They brought some friends along with them this morning. Not one, but two Golfs by the sounds of things. Now, we've seen a lot of Golfs release. I want to know, is there anything different? Guys, what's happening? Good morning. Welcome from the basement.
Good morning, Graham. How you doing?
Cool, my man. Cool. What is going on there? I'm seeing a purple interior light.
Yes,
this is
that
insane,
is the
man.
special Volkswagen pink interior lighting feature, which we've brought along for you today. What we've actually got for you this morning, Graham, is side-by-side comparison of the brand new Golf 7 and the Golf 6. We thought we'd do that for you this morning. So when this car was launched late last year, I felt nothing.
Well, Ciro, I disagree with you there. I think it is quite an event. This is the 7th generation of one of the most iconic cars known to mankind, the Golf. So I think it's quite an event.
Well, look, I mean, everyone in South Africa has a Golf story. I mean the
I
City
learned to
Golf was
drive
on sale here forever. So
Absolutely.
that's a really good point, actually. But you know what? After just a day in this car,
Yep.
I have to admit, it is annoyingly good. It's like that friend we all have that just has their whole life sorted out, and you want to hate him, but you can't.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone who's got a hugely successful business, married to a model, really good at anything from Scrabble to falconry.
Yes, never had a failed bonsai tree, that guy.
That person. That is essentially...
That's the Golf 7.
The Golf
but
7.
Now the thing is, while we're talking, you might see some footage of this car in the snow. That is the only press material we could get. It's showing off a 4Motion system, 4x4 system you only get in Europe, unfortunately. But let's have a look at what we have in studio here. We'll start with a side-by-side comparison. So Golf 6 over there is no longer for sale unless you want the GTI Cabriolet. But as you can see, they have changed quite a bit. This one is wider, longer, and a little bit lower.
And a lot more aggressive looking. That's the kind of way what they've done with it.
Yes, I agree with you there.
And also the new car is a lot lighter. How many kilograms have they saved there, Ciro?
109 kilograms,
You
Gav.
see, Ciro has read the 3,000-page press release. Another thing that they've also done is it's being wider, so it means it's got more elbow room. How much more elbow room does the 7 have?
It's got 22 millimeters of elbow room, Gav.
You see, now if you drive as many cars as Ciro and I do, you will notice that extra 22 millimeters. There were people sitting in the Golf 6 thinking, I really like my car. If I just had 22 millimeters more elbow room,
my life would be so much better.
I wouldn't be this angry in traffic.
So now you probably want to know what engines are going to drive your car. Now you can sort of have 6 engines, but you can only sort of have 3. So there's a 1.2 TSI, a 1.4 TSI, and a 2-liter diesel, and all 3 of those come in 2 power levels that you can choose from.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be your chariot.
And the big thing is obviously the smaller engines means they're more lightweight, and the whole car's more lightweight. So the performance is absolutely staggering. We'll get to how it drives in a second.
No, that's true. Well, let's maybe have a look inside, because there's been quite a few changes inside. Now, no longer will you be envious of your friends who spec a higher Golf than you, and it's just beeping away there. Let me sort that out. Thank you, Gav.
No problem.
So every Golf now will come with a touchscreen, which I really like, and you can order actually an 8-inch screen for that.
Yes, you can. And another thing, I mean, whenever we get into some of these new cars, I always go tentatively towards it and think, oh, is it a touchscreen? Isn't it? Ah, yes, it is a touchscreen. So, as Ciro said, this will come standard in every Golf. But one thing that did annoy us slightly is that it doesn't have a USB plug-in here.
Yes.
Which I find remarkable in the day and age of iPods. But what it does have is 2 SD slots.
Who uses SD cards?
I will tell you, Ciro, Germans use SD slots because they go on holiday a lot, and when they're sitting in traffic back in the winter in Dusseldorf, they will be showing their friends in their carpool, they're like, this is me, it's a game farm, and this is me, it's a cable car, and they'll miss their turn off, so you can get it with a sat-nav as well.
Well, I mean, that makes sense now that you can order it with an 8-inch screen and all the, the sort of Golf photo story edition. But
exactly.
They've done a great job with that interior. I mean, all 5 seating positions have been completely redesigned. The boot is 30 litres bigger?
Yes, Ciro, again, you have read the 3,000-page press release. I think that was on page 751. But we should also talk about how this car drives.
Yes, we have driven it.
As we say, we have only had it for about 24 hours, but it has already made a huge impression on us.
That's true.
I cannot believe what they're getting out of this 1.4 engine. Don't think of this as a 1400.
Yeah.
This 1.4 TSI is just remarkable. Ciro did say to me before I drove it, Gav, you're going to enjoy this. And I was like, And I was completely blown away by the amount of torque and just the big feel of an engine this small.
It really is remarkable. It's not your dad's 1400, we promise. Now, look, Volkswagen has deep pockets. We all know this, but this car just feels, every minute you spend in this car, it feels like there were 7,000 very dedicated, very clever Germans working on this all day and night to make sure that it was perfect.
Absolutely. There were no high fives and never minds in Wolfsburg, but this car's biggest party trick, I find this staggering to believe, is the price.
Yeah. Now, everything in your life and my life, obviously, gets more expensive every single day, except for Volkswagen Golfs, because that car and this car are on sale for exactly the same price.
So this is an old car and this is a new car, and they are the same price. I mean, I just found that...
How did they do that?
And as we said, Volkswagen is one of the most profitable car companies in the world, so they know a thing or two about balancing a book. How they pulled that off in this day and age is simply staggering. And that price is 233,000 rand.
233,000 will get you an entry-level Golf 7 with a 1.2 TSI engine, and then it goes all the way up to 338,000 for the Golf 2-litre turbo diesel, the top spec one that you can get at the moment, until GTI arrives, which I cannot wait.
Yeah, we cannot wait. And then after the GTI, there will become the R will arrive, which we also will, which is actually the first car we ever reviewed on Expresso.
That's actually a really good
point.
point.
Previous generation.
The Golf R, so that's how long we've been around.
We've been on your screens for a whole generation of Golfs, but this is a stupendously good car. And as said, the top end, 334,000 rand, is not a lot of money in today's terms.
It's a lot of car for your money. Graham, which one would you have?
I don't know, price, remember?
I'm going to have to consult the 3,000-page manual before I do. I need to really sink my teeth into it. No, gents, it looks like continuing the proud tradition of a very usable and a very user-friendly line of Golfs. It's really cool. Quintessentially South African as well, I think. Nice one, boys. Well, you can continue the conversation with Ciro and Gav at Overdrive TV is their Twitter handle. They love to chat to you, and they do respond very quickly. We're taking a quick break, and the ultimate Prime Master returns. You don't want to miss it.
With a range of quality products guaranteed nationally, you will always find there's so much more to Midas.